So here I am with the lovely Katie.
Hiya!
Who I volunteer with Time to Change, and today we are going to talk about your mental health journey.
Yeah,
so first of all, what have you been diagnosed with having?
First is GAD.
GAD,
yeah, which is generalised anxiety disorder.
Okay, yeah.
Second is cyclothymia,
right,
which is like a mild version of bipolar. So you know how bipolar is like the extremes, right. Are the really high and really low.
So your mood's constantly going up and down.
Yeah, but it's not as extreme as being you know, right up there and being very low.
Yeah. Okay, and also there is one more, isn't there? Yes,
there is.
You got a big bag of stuff.
Obsessive compulsive or intrusive thoughts.
Okay.
And like for me, they're repetitive thoughts, and it's like about myself, what I think about myself, or who I think I am.
In a critical way? Or?
Yeah, very, very critical, very destructive. Yeah.
I mean, I've suffered with intrusive thoughts, and they're almost, someone described them to me, because I didn't know how to describe them, like almost like Tourette's of the mind.
Yes.
Which I thought was a good explanation.
Yeah, definitely. I also think...
But yours are quite critical on you.
Yeah, it's about me. To me, it's like someone is... because I describe it as a voice. It's not hearing a voice, but because it's not like me who's saying it, it's just a general voice. It's hard to explain. It's not me.
But you don't hear it as a voice, do you?
No, I don't. You like hear it in your head.
You kind of understand it.
Yeah, because I hear it.
Yeah. It's hard. Yours are very self-critical of you.
Yeah, it's very, very all about me, like bad things, or you've done that wrong.
Do you want to say, or is that just personal?
No, that's fine. No, it's just sometimes they're quite sort of explicit.
Explicit?
Yeah, like rude.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it's hard because they're there quite a lot of the time, and it's hard to keep saying no. Do you know what I mean? To try and keep saying it's hard to fight them and say no, it's not true. No, you're wrong.
Yeah, right.
But sometimes they're quite like explicit. They're very self-destructive. They're very extreme.
Right. But they're kind of like, they're automatic. They're extremely hard to control.
Yeah, they're just there. You know, they just flare up almost.
Just boom, boom.
It's just keep going, keep going.
Keep cutting in,
yeah.
And do you want to explain a little bit, like, what is GAD?
That is, so generalised anxiety disorder. So that is anxiety, but about like anything. There's no specific thing linked to that, like, you know, phobias. People have a phobia of a certain object or animals or small spaces, or people have like social anxiety, you know, they're worried, their main worries are about going out and like socialising. But generalised anxiety disorder has like no limits. Literally, so you can worry about anything, but it's constant. It's just constant worrying.
So is it always lingering there?
Yeah, there's lingering worries. I overthink.
Do you get it when you're on your own?
I get it constantly, when I'm on my own, when I'm not on my own.
Because you're constantly worrying?
Yeah, constantly worrying.
Right.
Like I said, I spend so much time worrying, but it becomes so much of a habit, it becomes so automatic. I know it's destructive, but it's just, do you know what I mean? But it's hard, like I said with the thoughts, it's hard to keep fighting it and sort of saying, because sometimes, again, like with anxiety, it's usually you're worried. I mean, I might be worried about something that might happen. It's always like the what ifs. What if this happens? And it's, again, that's usually very extreme.
Are you a worst case scenario girl?
Yeah, I try not to be,
right.
But in like, you know, realistically I am. I'm always like, right, this is going to happen. I need to prepare for the worst case. So I'm prepared for it.
Right.
But it's not, you know, it's not good. It's not good for your mental health.
Okay. And can you describe? Well, now, first of all, let's talk a little bit. No, we've talked about all three of those, actually, haven't we? So, can you describe a little bit what anxiety is like to live with?
Yeah, I would describe it as... It sounds really weird how I describe it, but this is how I feel it is. I describe it as obviously it's not physically, I know someone or something is not behind me, but I feel like it's like because it follows you around. Like the thoughts about feeling anxious about this, or the thoughts about people don't like you, or whatever it might be, it is like it's kind of, you know, on your back, or it's with you. It never leaves you. But every day.
So do you have, like, say you're in one situation, you go to another situation.
Yeah.
Do you just have worries about each situation?
I worry about the past, present, future. Right. So I say, you know, I went somewhere yesterday. I travelled somewhere. I worry about, oh, what did those people think of me? Did I do that right? Did I make sure I had this? Have I got, you know, did I give them enough money?
But the worry's enough to make you feel like rubbish.
Yeah, you feel horrible. Yeah, because you're worrying so much, you then feel really low.
Yeah.
And then if you're feeling low anyway, and then you just feel stressed, and you just feel like you can't cope because you've got so much going on in your head, right. Because you're worrying about however many things. Your head's always, I find when I'm really anxious, my head's really busy. I can't concentrate. I can't focus because I've got however many things going through, however many thoughts or whatever. It's a bit.
But with the cyclothymia,
yeah.
So if it's sort of like up and down,
yeah.
When you're going on and up, do you feel better then? Like, because if someone's with bipolar and they go right up,
they're like, yeah.
I don't know too much about bipolar at the moment, but if you with cyclothymia,
yeah,
are you still always worrying? Is that like if you go up,
yeah,
is your up and not worried up, or are you still worrying?
I'm still worrying. I'm up. I feel really good. Like I want to do when I feel up. I want to do lots of things. I try and make lots of plans.
Right.
And I'm like, do you know what I mean? I feel really good and I feel really happy, and you feel like you can do stuff. You feel really like, oh yeah, and do you know what I mean? You just feel really, really energetic, like you've had lots of coffee or something. But it's just really, and then you
come across like that, like high energy, you know,
I think
very
it's just
upbeat.
easy to put the face on, isn't it?
Right, yeah.
Even when you're not necessarily...
You always come across as quite a high energy person. No. I don't know if you feel that you've got a lot of energy.
I don't know. I think it is. Even if you're not feeling it, you just put the face on. You're like, right. I need to be happy. I need to look happy. Right. And you just automatically do it. You're just like, yeah. But I do. I do feel good. I feel like I've got energy, whatever. But it's just, I think it with the anxiety and like the thoughts and whatever, it just wears you down. It chips away at you throughout the day. So you wake up in the morning and like you've had, you've got some worries about the day ahead. So that chips away. And then throughout the day, all these worries about, like I said, the past, present, future, whatever has happened, chips away. And by the end of the day, you're like emotionally tired because you've had all these things to worry about, and you haven't, you're overthinking things, you're having to think about so many different things.
But I will say anxiety, some people will talk about anxiety like, if you're going to an interview and you feel nervous or something like that, that's like anxiety. But anxiety, when you've got it a lot, and I can talk from personal experience, is crippling, isn't it? It literally absorbs you. If you can't shake it off, I always found anxiety, if it's just staying there, will ruin everything. Yeah. Like no matter where you went, no matter what great situation you might be in, you just feel like rubbish. Yeah. Because it's literally consumes your whole body.
That's it. It literally, you feel so overwhelmed by it.
Yeah.
And it is just...
But when it just stays there...
Yeah, it just doesn't go away.
It won't go away,
and you want it to, you're like, just go away.
Sometimes people say, if you stay in a situation, it'll go. Sometimes it doesn't. You can just stay there.
I think with a lot of people, like you said, people will think, I felt really nervous when I took my exams, or whatever it may be, or people will say, if you say, I feel really like rubbish today, I'm having an anxious day, people are like, oh, just, it's just in your head, or just calm down. I'm like, but the thing is, I can't just calm down, that's the issue here.
But I think if someone ever went through something that was they were nervous, very nervous, which happens in general life, I say, imagine being like that all the time.
That's it.
Like, you couldn't shake it off. Like, you were like that all the time.
It's like, say you have an on and off switch for your head and your thoughts. It's like the switch is stuck on.
Yeah.
I can't turn it off.
Yeah, yeah.
And like you said, you know, you're moving around from situation, or like, you know, you're at work and then you go home, or however your day plans out. It just that switch is stuck on, and you're anxious no matter what you do.
Yeah.
But I think definitely it does become very crippling, and it just becomes so overwhelming.
Yeah.
You can't cope with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you just think, I want this to go away.
Yeah.
When will it end?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So how long have you suffered with like your mental health?
I've always, like, my family have always said that I've been a really anxious child.
Right.
I've always been really anxious. From a young age, I
Right.
remember feeling anxious about things.
Right.
I've always been really, like, on edge.
Right.
So I think that's...
What about, say, like, through school and stuff?
Yeah.
Was you nervous at school?
Yeah, I was really... I remember being at, like, primary school, and I used to worry about making friends. I used to worry about exams. When I was at high school, I was bullied at high school.
Right.
And that made it really hard. And again,
Right.
that sort of... You know, that broke your self... Because I think anxiety also links with self-esteem.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have low self-esteem, and like, you know, that can sort of, the anxiety will play on it, make you feel worse. You know, you are worthless or whatever. But yeah, I remember being anxious. Yeah, so at school, I went to university, which was a really positive thing. But while I was there,
Did you do okay at school?
yeah.
Even though you had like the anxiety.
Yeah,
and stuff, you still done okay,
I still did okay. Yeah, like
Right.
like performance-wise exams,
Yeah.
fine.
Right.
But yeah, when I was at university, that was really good. But then while I was there, I was like struggling a bit, and
So when you went to uni, you done a mental health.
I did mental health nursing.
Yes.
I studied mental health nursing, and it was kind of ironic because the university itself wasn't very supportive.
Right.
And like my tutors that I had weren't very supportive.
Okay.
And unfortunately, like, that affected my studying, and I failed like some exams, like resits as well, because of that, because of feeling anxious, because of feeling low. And so I had to leave university.
So yeah, I kind of know this is a fairly recent diagnosis, cyclothymia.
Yeah, that's...
But it's something that you've had for a long time, but you just never... It was never diagnosed.
It was never. Yeah, it was just never. I think
but
it
you
never
kind of had
became...
the issues that were going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still had the issues going on, but you didn't know what it was.
No, you just kind of thought that's how it is.
Yeah.
Until you see, like, you know, until you join services,
right.
You know, you see professionals and they say, no, this is what it is,
right.
or you experience this.
And when you was at uni, you ended up leaving, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to leave the course, or like I got asked to leave because I'd failed exams and because I'd failed resits.
But it was because of you were struggling with your mental health.
Yeah.
But they didn't let you go back, did they?
No, I made an appeal against it, and I got like doctor's notes and that, but that were like, they said, no, we can't accept it. You still got leave.
Which is quite strange considering it's
no, I know.
a mental health course.
Yeah, it's quite ironic, but yeah.
Okay. So, how do you feel that the anxiety and stuff holds you back? Like, do you feel it holds you back?
I think, yeah, it does. Because if you're having a bad day, you, like I said before, that when you feel really high, you make plans. You know, you make plans to go out. If you're having a bad day, you cancel plans, you avoid things. Because it's easier to avoid something than to go into, like, the situation where you feel anxious. So say if you're feeling really anxious about going out somewhere, it's so much easier to say, oh no, I can't come, sorry, I'm busy.
Yeah.
Maybe, you
know... Do you do that a lot?
Sometimes, not a lot. I'd say, you know, I do try and sort of face it and be like, no, just go, it'll be fine, you know, sort of reassure myself. But sometimes it's hard because you want to say to people, I'm having a bad day, but then you kind of think, how are they going to react to it, or do you know what I mean? Are people going to understand? I'm
going to slip this one in there.
Okay.
Right? You weren't expecting this one, okay?
Okay, well.
So do you feel that your anxiety and stuff, does it affect you, because you're single at the moment? Yes. Didn't know, but do you think that, you know, does that play in your mind that if you get with someone that you know, they're going to have to know all about my anxiety and stuff.
I do.
Does that affect you?
Yeah, I do. I think, like, when I'm sort of meeting, say if I'm, like, meeting a guy, you know, or say if we're talking, and I'm kind of like, oh, and, like, guys have told me before, like, when I've talked on the phone to them, or when we've met up, they're like, oh, you seem really anxious, and I'm kind of like, do you know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not going to say it to them, because I don't know them that well, but I do, and I worry that when something gets serious, I'm like, how do I tell someone? Are they going to think I'm overreacting? Are they not going to understand? Because not everyone does.
No, they don't.
But I do think, definitely, and I also think it's held me back, like, with relationships, because I'm scared about a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, you know, how's it gonna be? And just worrying again about the relationship, like, you know, what they're gonna,
Okay, I thought I'd just put that.
But yeah, no, that's like,
because it's true, right?
Because it is. I think it is because
you have to bear it in mind.
Because I mean, it's like with a physical illness, you kind of think, you know, when is the stage that I can talk to them about this? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, will they understand, or will they just think, oh, you know, calm down or whatever, or whatever they say?
Okay, you'll get there.
Oh,
right. Okay, so. What do you do? Obviously, because you've got a lot to deal with, right? It's a lot on your plate.
Yeah.
What do you actually do that helps you with it?
Recently, I have. I've started biking a lot more.
Right.
I really enjoy biking because where I live, it's
Does it help with your anxiety?
Yeah.
Oh, it does.
It's really rural.
Okay.
And so I like
rural. What do you mean rural?
Like there's like woods fields.
Oh, okay, right.
It's really nice.
Right.
And come on, that picture.
Yeah, it's a good picture.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, just biking, because I think it's just, I don't know, I think being in nature's calming. For me, I find it's really, even going for a walk.
Right.
I really like photography. I find like trying to be creative, trying to channel that anxiety and, you know, mood and whatever.
You need to take your mind off of it.
Yeah.
Rather than if you're sitting, you know, can you sort of get caught up in your own thoughts and the worry and the anxiety?
It'll, like, say if you sit there and you've got one worry, like you said, it all just kind of rolls out. And before you know it, you've spent like how many hours, you know?
But do you get medication for it?
Yeah, I have.
Like an SSRI, like an antidepressant?
I've got one of them. I've got an antidepressant. That's just for mood.
That's for
mood. I've got an SSRI,
Right.
And then
because they're good for anxiety as well, aren't they?
Yeah, but I found when I had them, they didn't really do.
Right.
They didn't really do much. And then also like a mood stabiliser. I've got an antipsychotic.
That's to stable your mood.
Yeah, mood stabiliser.
Okay, right.
And then I have. It's called pregabalin.
How do you feel about that?
What?
Well, like, say, because you're not psychotic.
No.
But you take an antipsychotic.
Because it's...
Yeah, I know that they use different things, but it's just the term, an antipsychotic. You know, if you say to someone, I take an antipsychotic,
they're like, what?
Think, you know, and I take an antipsychotic. Right, so, but that doesn't bother you?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
And does it work? Does it help?
Yeah.
What is it? I'm intrigued. What is it?
Quetiapine.
Quetiapine, right.
Quetiapine, yeah. So that for mood, and then pregabalin.
Right.
It's also used for like extreme pain, I think.
So you take something for mood.
Yeah. 2 for mood because the antidepressant and the
antipsychotic. Yeah.
And then the pregabalin.
What is that?
That is I'm trying to think what it is. When you know, like when you look them up on the internet, it just says what it's used for. It doesn't say like what it
So what is it used for?
It's used for generalised anxiety.
Right.
It's used for like pain management, I think, or something to do with some of the physical stuff.
And do you find that they help?
Yeah, I'd say they help a little bit. I definitely know. Say if like I went away and I didn't take them, I definitely know that I've not taken them.
Right.
Definitely know that.
Right.
But I think a lot of it is you know, talking or trying to manage it yourself as well. I think medication can't be the answer, full stop.
No, but if you take 3 medications, like, I'm not knocking that. I think if you need medication to help, then, you know, I know it can be quite controversial. Some people say, I don't believe in medication. And I think, well, it depends what you got, to be honest with you. And if you're struggling enough, you know, you might...
And that'll help,
and then that's going to help. Because some people say, about medication, I don't believe in medication. I think, well, is anything wrong with you? Do you have mental health issues, you know? You know, but I think you know, if you need medication, you know, for just a little bit of help.
Yeah.
In my opinion, yeah. What about like talking therapy, like therapy wise?
I've had loads of therapy. No, I don't say about loads because it sounds a bit. But well, I mean, when I was younger, when I was at school, I used to talk to someone. When I was, before I went to uni, when I was at college, I had CBT. I had quite a lot of CBT.
Right. How much CBT?
I'm trying to think how many courses. I think we did like 12 and then a bit more.
12
like,
sessions?
Yeah, maybe like 15
right.
or maybe
even
20.
Did it help?
At the time it did. And then when I went away, because things were okay for a bit, I didn't need,
right.
do you know what I mean? I didn't need the strategies.
Right.
And then when it started going a bit downhill,
right.
I kind of panicked and I just
right.
spiraled.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't really.
Right.
I find with therapy that it does help in the moment, but then afterwards I find it really hard to use it sometimes.
Because then you're trying to retrain your brain.
That's it, and it's
and I suppose it's hard to retrain
it
your brain.
is. Like it doesn't just happen overnight.
No.
Yeah, that's
it's something you need to keep doing
exactly.
until your brain.
I mean, I had
thinks in a different
it
way.
again as well in the summer.
Because I suppose you just get like stuck on repetitive thinking.
That's what it is.
It's causing you all this anxiety. Just keep coming back to them anxious thoughts.
And it's having to fight those and say no, you know.
It's knowing how to fight them
That's
as well. Until if you don't know,
exactly,
like, you're fighting a losing battle, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, so.
But yeah, recently had some more.
Just CBT.
Well, she tried to mix that with psychotherapy. Is it psychotherapy?
Right.
I forgot what it's called. Yeah, it might be that. She tried to mix and like we just used to talk, and we did used to try and think of strategies, and we used to just talk through, you know, how you feel and that sort of thing. And
did it help?
Yeah, again at the time it did. I do like.
But do not say to them, you know, these things do help me at the time, but when I go out, when I go to my everyday life, you do tell them.
Yeah, yeah,
what do they say to that?
They say that it's going to take time. It's not just going to happen overnight. And obviously, I know it's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
But they do say just keep trying, and then you know eventually it'll just click.
Right.
And I think it's so hard though, because you learn all these strategies, and then like you said, you go out into your everyday life, you work, you do whatever, and it's just hard to like, I don't know. It just seems so hard to implement it on your own.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feel like, God, I've got to do this.
Yeah.
In the moment, if I'm anxious, I don't sit there and think, right, I need to think of my strategies. Yeah. I'm thinking about, oh my God, I'm anxious.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is hard sometimes, I think.
So have you stopped them now?
Yeah, because they would only give me so much, and then they obviously just charge you.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So, you know, they want to, if they feel that you're doing okay, then they'll be like, okay, right, we'll just charge you now.
Right,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
Alright, trying to think if there's, is there anything else that you'd like to say about any of them? Or anything? You know, what would your advice, what would your advice
There is
be?
one thing, sorry, I would like to say that, I've been really lucky because I have had very supportive family.
Right.
And not everyone does.
Right.
But I've been really lucky to have a supportive family, and I think that has helped so much.
Right.
I wouldn't be like where I was now without them. I know that's really cheesy,
I think
but
mental health in general, I think if you've got some people that understand what you're going through, even if you're still struggling, it's so important. Because I think if you don't have that, and you know, someone don't understand what your kids are going through, or is not willing to try and understand, it's a totally different ballgame, isn't it?
It is. It's just, and like in our family, we have a lot of mental health.
Right.
There's a lot of mental health issues in our family, so it's like, you know. So
good for your family and you.
Yeah. I think it is nice because, well, not nice, but I think it's good because you, like you said, you've got that understanding.
Yeah.
And that is the worst
if
thing.
If you're feeling rubbish, right, they can't even understand why, rather than thinking, well, just pull yourself together. What's wrong with you today?
I hate that.
What's wrong with you today?
Yeah.
You know, snap out of it.
Exactly.
You know, we're ruining it. You know,
because that is the worst thing. I think when you have mental health issues, although you've got all people around you, you feel so alone, don't you? Although, you know, there's people who experience what you experience, you still feel alone, don't you? Yeah. You still feel so isolated.
I think there's that saying, you know, you think yourself lucky as other people that are suffering more.
Yeah.
That's a stupid saying. Because at the end of the day, if you're suffering,
everyone suffers from something.
You're feeling rubbish, you know. It's like, you know, just... It's hard to think that yourself lucky when you feel so rubbish.
Yeah, of course you can't.
I don't like that saying.
No, I know what you mean.
So I see what they're saying, but it's you know.
It's like saying, you know, think yourself lucky you don't experience these illnesses, and it's like, yeah, I don't experience those illnesses, but I experience my own stuff. You know, everyone has their everyone has their stuff they have to deal with. Yeah.
So this would be the final serious question. What advice would you give to somebody, you know, somebody that's struggling a lot with their anxiety, okay?
I would say,
and didn't know what to do about it. They're just feeling all like anxious all the time and stuff.
I would say definitely try and speak to someone who you trust or someone that you feel comfortable talking to about it, and definitely try and like speak to a health professional like your GP or someone, because then, you know, you can start to figure out, do you need therapy, is it going to help you, or medication, you know, is that going to help? Talk to your family, your friends, if you feel that you can talk to them about that, but don't, it is so easy to bottle it up and internalise it all, and again you feel so alone. It is so easy to just sort of plod along, but I'd say definitely speak up about it and say, you know, I need help, or I'm struggling, whatever it may be.
Because it's not weakness, it really is. It really is a strength, isn't it?
That's the thing, because you have to deal with that every day.
Because, you know, and I've always been useless at asking for help when I need help, and it is a strength to ask for help, because I always feel that I'm not brave enough to ask for help. So I know that it must be a strength, because I was just not feeling that brave to say that
I need this. Sometimes though also it is really hard when you're in a particular frame of mind. It is hard to know. Sometimes it's hard for you to notice yourself that you need help. Because
you get swept along
that's
with
what I mean,
don't you? You don't realise you're in it. You're just going along with it. And
other people around you think, well, something's not right there. Yeah. So it is sometimes hard for you to notice yourself if you're like so engulfed in it. But I'd say definitely, it is hard to have that initial conversation and sort of say to someone, this is how I feel. Yeah. It's scary because you think about it, you make yourself vulnerable. You're speaking to someone about like your thoughts, your feelings, and they're personal. So you do it. It is hard to say, I need help.
Well, because I think sometimes your thoughts, you know, even if they cause you a lot of problems, like, you know, they can be insecurities, you know, and they're real personal things that you think, they're just going to think I'm stupid, but they're causing me a lot of grief here, but, you know, to say them, it's, you know, there's probably an element of embarrassment.
Yeah,
I have to say, I'm struggling with this. You're struggling with that? What's wrong with you? Like, but I am, I'm not fun struggling with it, and that, you know, but...
I think it's definitely again, it's like the worry about what is that person going to think of me? If I say I'm struggling with this, and then what is their reaction going to be? Are they going to judge me? Are they going to think I'm weak? Are they going to, you know, how are they going to react to what I've said? What are their thoughts about me going to be? It is that kind of embarrassment, and I should just plod along. I should deal with it on my own. You know, it's my own issue. But no, I'd say definitely speak about it. And also if you do, like, I mean, I've found talking to people, like through volunteering or other sort of social groups, you realise that other people go through so many similar, do you know what I mean, issues and problems, and then you have people to talk to, do you know what I mean? Because you feel so alone. Like I said, although you know, you might be sitting in a room full of people, like you're sitting there and you think, I feel so alone, you know, these thoughts are like overwhelming me or whatever.
Okay. Well, thanks for that. Now, a random question time. Okay. Here we go. We've got 9 questions. 9.
Oh, my favourite number.
Is it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh.
What is your perfect pizza?
What is my perfect pizza?
We want quick answers as well.
Alright, pepperoni.
Pepperoni.
Okay.
Would you be willing to lie for a close friend if it meant saving your friend from going to jail for life?
Yeah.
You would? That's interesting.
Have you got something you want to say, Terry?
Yeah. Alright then. Would you be willing to eat a bowl of crickets for £20,000?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, probably would as well. If you could have personally witnessed anything, what would you want to have seen?
What would I want to see? What is this like?
Just something that you would, if you wish you'd seen something. If you could witness seeing something, what would it be?
I would like to be able to see the sunrise and sunset every day.
Right, okay, not me in a nude then.
What? No!
Right, go on then, anyway, next one. If you could wake up tomorrow in the body of someone else, who would you pick?
I don't know. Somebody else? I'd like to be, because I don't want to be specific, because I don't know who I'd want to be specifically, but I want to see what it's like to live as a guy. I think that'd be interesting. But I can't pick a specific person.
Right, okay.
Sorry.
That's fine. If you could be any age for a week, what age would you be?
I would be... any age for a week?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I'm only 22,
yeah.
So... Okay, I would want to be... let's say... I quite like being 22.
22? You wouldn't want to experience being like 89 or 90 for a week? See what it's like to be old?
Yeah, but if you're old, you might not...
Yeah, but it's only for a week.
Okay, alright then. 100.
100, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, what is the strangest name someone has introduced themselves to you as?
Strangest?
Strangest name.
I have no idea. Strangest name. I don't know. Strangest name?
Yes, that's what I said.
Alright. What, as in like a nickname or like
just
their
strangest name?
I can't think of any strange names.
Okay, we can move on. What cheers you up?
What cheers me up? Lots of things. Food.
Food? Pepperoni pizza?
Pepperoni pizza!
Yeah.
What cheers me up? I'm trying to think what I like. See, when I'm on the spot, it's hard to think, isn't it? What cheers me up?
Moving on soon.
Yeah, okay, we'll move on then.
Right, okay.
Lots of things cheers me up.
What is your final one? What is your favourite word?
What is my favourite word?
Anxiety?
No! What is my favourite word? Again, let's see, this is going to take time. No, again, this is going to take time to think.
Right.
Favourite word, there's so many. Because some words you have, like, you say, they actually sound, don't they? They sound what they are. They sound how they are. Like, if you say disgusting, it sounds gross, doesn't it? Disgusting.
Right, okay.
But that isn't my favourite word.
No
Sorry,
favourite.
I'm just thinking, I'm just trying to,
What about poo?
See, that sounds gross.
Good word, isn't it?
It's lovely.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on.
That's the final one.
No,
Yeah.
that ain't my word though.
You've got time limit. Go on then.
No,
Go on
not
then.
for that one. I don't know. Crunch.
Crunch.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Sounds like
It's a chocolate bar as well, isn't it? Crunch.
crunchy.
Crunchy, and then you have the crunch bars, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're lovely.
I've never
Nestle
heard of
Crunch bars.
What are they like?
They're pretty damn good.
Okay, I've never had one.
Right. On that note, thanks for the
Thank
the
you.
knowledge and shared, and give us a hug.
Oh.
It's all good. Lovely.
All good.
Katie.
See ya.